I am 1 month on testosterone, come on! Well, technically I'm 1 month, 1 week and 1 day on testosterone, but I was away last week so I couldn't make this video. So yeah, anyway, on with the show. Hello and welcome to the tea party with me, Frit Tam. This is the latest video to mark my 1 month anniversary on testosterone, and I wanted to share with you a little bit about all of the changes that I've been experiencing within that first month. I'm going to break this video down into each week, so of course we'll start with week 1. So if you haven't watched my video all about getting my very first shot, which if you haven't will be, nope, not there, there maybe? I think here. If you haven't watched that, go and watch it and let me know what you think. But essentially, the takeaway from that was that I got a really sore butt where I got the shot for a couple of days afterwards. The shot itself was totally fine, not as painful as I thought it was going to be, but yeah, I got a really sore and crampy left glute. And for the next couple of days, I actually found it quite sore to sit down or lie on that side. A bit like, I suppose, when you have been getting an injection in your arm for a vaccine, which has been a common thing for a lot of us at the moment. That arm seems to get quite painful for the next couple of days. It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same style of injection, so it makes sense that you would experience similar pain afterwards. But after that, no pain whatsoever after that, which was brilliant. After the first week, I actually recorded a little video diary of all the things that I've been experiencing because it blew my mind. So here is that footage of that video diary. Hello, good morning. I am 1 week on testosterone. Yes, come on. I just wanted to document a little bit of what I've been feeling over the past week and how I feel now. And essentially how I feel is pretty good. I feel kind of tired, which I'm not sure if it's anything to do with the testosterone or whether I've just had a busy week and a busy weekend, which yes I have. So largely it could just be lifestyle as opposed to testosterone itself. I have sort of had a really big dip in energy actually, so about 3 days after my first shot, my butt recovered, so my butt didn't hurt anymore, which is great. But I had a massive dip in energy to the point where I just sort of had to write the day off. At the time, I didn't relate it at all to testosterone, but I spoke to my friend Ryan, who is my co-host of the Transatlantic Transmasc podcast, and he's also on testosterone in these early stages, and said that actually the energy dip could be part of the testosterone because mood swings and energy swings can be part of it. So yeah, he just said that it could be the testosterone, and actually something I really now need to be more mindful of is fueling myself and being more mindful of my nutrition, because essentially what's happening now is that I'm embarking on a second adolescence, so I'm going to be growing and my body's going to be developing in all sorts of different ways, and so I need to fuel that correctly. In terms of any changes, I mean, right, so this is definitely not a thing because it's only been a week. But I feel like my throat feels different in terms of my vocal cords and my voice. I don't think this is a thing. It can't happen that quickly, but I'm willing my voice to change so much that I think I'm sort of making up experiences that I'm having. But yeah, I've just sort of caught myself at times feeling like, oh, my voice sounded really different then, or oh, my voice felt a bit different. So we'll see what happens. It's been really cool to just know that I'm now on T, and I've booked in my next appointment with T Giver already, which is going to be 4 weeks from the first shot. So I'm going to have a shot every 4 weeks. So we've got that booked in the diary already because T Giver said that actually we should sort of stick quite strictly to that schedule, at least for the first few months, so that my body can really get used to having the testosterone and getting used to the T-shots. So yeah, we've put that in the diary, which is really cool. But there is one thing that is definitely happening, which I'm not just willing it to happen and making up, which is I'm more sensitive downstairs. Yeah, that's definitely happening. And at first I thought that maybe I don't know, my underwear was irritating me, but it's been happening for quite a few days now, so yeah, it's just more sensitive in that area, and that's just a thing, which makes sense because on testosterone you get clitoral growth, and so I guess that's just what's happening right now. That whole process has kicked off, which is kind of amazing that, like, yeah, it started happening I suppose a few days ago, so a few days into having the shot I was already experiencing that, which I'm finding kind of cool actually. It's just a really nice tangible way to know that the testosterone is doing something. So into week 2, the wildest thing that happened was that my sex drive increased massively. I mean, hugely. Prior to being on T, I maybe wanted sex once every 2 weeks, for example. Now I could easily have sex twice a day, which is just unbelievable. If my math is right, that's a 3,000% increase. I could have totally just made that number up, so don't take that as fact. But whatever the number is, it's a huge, huge increase. And again, the fact that that would happen so quickly after the first shot blew my mind. So into week 3, I thought I was getting sweatier. That is one of the changes that you can experience on testosterone. In hindsight though, I think we were just having a bit of a heat wave. But I found that I was able to live in shorts all day, every day, which is not something that I would have done prior to being on T. And the other thing that I found was that the skin on my hands felt sweatier, and I've always had really dry skin, so to be able to do things like pick a piece of paper off a table or open a plastic bag, I know they sound really trivial for some people, but my skin is so dry sometimes that I can't do that. So I just found that I was able to do that a bit easier that week, and that was really nice. So even if it was a heat wave, I really enjoyed it. And if it's not a heat wave, I'm hoping that this extra warmth is something that's going to continue. And then finally into week 4, the first thing that happened is that my girlfriend told me that I started to smell different, which is super interesting. I remember she was hugging me and she smelt sort of round the back of my neck. And she said that I smelt different, and I said, what kind of different? And she replied with, just more manly. And I was like, win. But on the flip side of that win, that week was also a real struggle for me. I felt really tired, really low, and really quite moody, and it was just a hard-hitting week for me. My mental health just took a huge downturn, and when I spoke to T-Giver, who is the person who gave me my very first T-shirt, if you've watched that video, they said to me that sometimes that's really common when you're first settling into being on T. In that last week ahead of your next shot, it's almost as if the T kind of wears off, and then you can experience fatigue and a loss of energy, and so it's something that they recommended that I just keep an eye on, document it. I've been tracking all of my changes over the past month, and then when I come to my next appointment with my endocrinologist, I can tell them all about it, and we can adjust things if we need to. But it may just be something that is happening as I settle into being on T, so fingers crossed at the end of the 2nd month on T, I won't have this huge downturn again. But now I have had my 2nd shot, and after the week away that I've just had, and I've been resting a little bit more, I do feel a little bit more even and a bit more level in terms of my energy and sort of my moods. I don't know how the 2nd month is going to go. It's all just new territory, so we'll just see how it goes. But it is absolutely wild that just 4 weeks after my very first shot of testosterone, I've been experiencing such big changes that, while some of them I've struggled with, have ultimately created a lot of gender euphoria, and I'm just so excited to move into the 2nd month, into the 3rd month, into 6 months, into a year. It's just going to be amazing. And of course, I will keep you up to date with everything that happens in month 2 with a new video then. But until then, remember that sometimes you have to be brave and sometimes you have to be kind. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you at the next tea party.